So once again, good morning and welcome to grade 12. So now we are in 12th standard. So this is the last year of your junior college. Next year you will be in degree college. So life is going to change again. So people who told you that after 10th life is going to be easy, they fooled you. So I am not going to fool you again by telling you that after 12th life is going to be easy. No, life is not going to be easy. पढ़ना पड़ेगा, आगे भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा. 10th दे दे बेटा एक बोर्ड का एग्जाम, उसके बाद लाइफ सॉर्टेड है नहीं. 12th दे दे बेटा बोर्ड का एग्जाम है, उसके बाद लाइफ सॉर्टेड है नहीं. You'll have to keep on studying and studying in the best possible way, so that you do good in your life. See, irrespective of whatever you do in your life, your education is always a backup plan, right? Whatever you do, things become easy if you are well read and if you are well educated. Okay? So coming to my subject, everybody knows the subject is English, and everybody knows English is taken very very lightly. For the plain simple reason, अरे मेरे को पता है ना, तू क्या बोल रहा है? I know the reason, and the reason is you don't simply have to mug up anything in English. So when you talk about the rest of your subjects, that is the theory subjects like OC and economics and SP, we have that fear at the back of our mind कि मुझे question answers by heart करने हैं. When you talk about a practical subject like maths and accounts, you have the fear that I need to practice it. If I don't practice it, I'll not be able to score well. But when it comes to English, I've seen children getting up at 8:45 in the morning, washing their face and going for the examination at 9 o'clock. They're as relaxed as this. The reason is you simply don't have to buy heart anything. So most of the time, children have this mentality that when it comes to English paper, everything is going to be there in the question paper. All I need to do is read the passage, find out the answers and write them. Right? Now see children, if this had been that easy, you people would not have been sitting here and attending English lecture. Or if this would have been that easy, you people would have been speaking fluent English. But the fact that we don't speak in English at all, the fact that we don't read English, and the fact that we don't write English, that itself is an indication that we still need to work a lot on English. Right? You don't have to mug up anything. I agree. But then there's a lot that has to be read, there's a lot that has to be practiced, and there's a lot that has to be written. So ये चीजों से छुटकारा नहीं. English में पढ़ाई नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. हाँ, it could be the other way around. I mean, I've heard children saying this कि English के पेपर के पहले क्या पढ़ने का समझ में नहीं. वो समझ में नहीं आता है. That itself is a sign कि वो पेपर तो ज़्यादा पढ़ना चाहिए ना, क्योंकि बाकी सब में तो हमको समझ में आ रहा है ना. ओसी में पता है क्या रट्टा मारना है, इकोनॉमिक्स में पता है क्या रट्टा मारना है, अकाउंट्स में पता है कौन से एडजस्टमेंट्स प्रैक्टिस करने हैं, मैथ्स में पता है कि क्या प्रैक्टिस करना है, कौन से सम्स प्रैक्टिस करने हैं. बट इंग्लिश, द प्लेन फैक्ट दैट बिफोर योर एग्जाम यू डोंट नो व्हाट टू स्टडी, दैट इटसेल्फ मेक्स इट क्लियर दैट दिस सब्जेक्ट नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ अटेंशन. One more reason why this subject needs a lot of attention is this is the base of the rest of your subjects. So when you talk about a theory subject like OC or SP or economics, I understand that you don't mug up word to word of all the answers that you have in your theory subjects. You try to understand the concepts, you try to remember the points, and then you try to develop the lengthy answers in your own language. And which is that language? English. So if you work on English, it becomes easy to develop these answers. It becomes easy to develop an answer in economics or OC or SP. अब SP आप लोगों को नहीं है, वो अलग बात है. But again, when you talk about the other theory subjects, that is your OC and economics, the need of English arises. Fine. Now, when you talk about English, today in the very first lecture, I tell you the pattern or the way how you need to study. Now, English we don't get question answers. Question answers in the sense you don't get question answers which you need to by heart or memorize and write. So what do you get in English? So basically in English we get a comprehension, right? Yes. Comprehension को simple भाषा में हम लोग बोलते हैं passage, right? But then today we discuss the word comprehension. Specifically, the word comprehension is a noun, and the verb of the word comprehension is comprehend. So what do you understand by to comprehend? Comprehend means वो passage पढ़ के आपको कितना समझ में आया है. आप वो passage के अंदर में से are you able to understand what is the passage all about? Are you able to understand the story that is there in the passage? Are you able to understand the situation on the plot that has been laid out in that particular passage? That is the meaning of the word comprehend. So it's not only about reading. See, if you give your 12th standard question paper to a 5th standard child, will he be able to read it? Read, simply read. He'll be able to read it, right? But if you ask him to comprehend, if you ask him कि ये पढ़ने के बाद तेरे को क्या समझा, मेरे को समझा, बोलेगा नहीं भाई इतना नहीं आता है, मैं पढ़ के दिखा सकता है, but I cannot explain you because I have not understood it. That means is he able to comprehend it? No, he is not able to comprehend it. So there is a difference between reading and comprehending, right? अब देखो रीडिंग का आपका स्पीड बढ़ा, जो 3rd स्टैंडर्ड 4th स्टैंडर्ड 5th स्टैंडर्ड में था उससे कंपैरिजन में अभी आपका स्पीड बढ़ा, राइट? अच्छा, विदाउट यू रियलाइजिंग there is also one more thing that I want to bring to your notice. Without you realizing, it is not just the reading speed that has increased, it is also the understanding speed that has increased. So as a child, when you read a passage, when you are in 3rd standard or 4th standard, there is a possibility that you understand only 10% or 5% or 15% or 20% of what you are reading. But today there is a possibility that you understand 80% of what you are reading or 70% of what you are reading. You don't have to refer to a dictionary to find out every single meaning. मतलब without knowing, आपका vocabulary भी grow होता है. As you grow, because you have been reading, studying, learning and listening so many things, your reading and your vocabulary by default grows. All right. But then the comprehension का speed is still less because most of the time we don't read to understand. We read to write or we simply don't read. We simply write. Now that's the drawback of our system. But you cannot blame the system, ना. You have to work on yourself. हम पूरा जिंदगी blame game नहीं खेल सकते ना. Blame game में नुकसान किसका होता है? अपना नुकसान होता है. So rather than playing the blame game, you need to understand कि where is there a gap, a learning gap. तो learning gap कहाँ पे आता है? हम उसको comprehend नहीं करते. अब आपका comprehension का speed बढ़ाने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? You'll have to practice passages. Are you getting me? Because what I will do is I'll explain the entire lesson. I will discuss the question answers which are at the back side of the textbook. But then are you going to get the same question answers which are at the back side of the textbook? No. So ideally speaking, in the board examination, the passage that you get in order to comprehend is of 20 to 22 lines. या तो वो minimum 20 lines का होता है या फिर maximum 22 या मे बी 25 लाइन तक भी हो सकता है, उससे बड़ा पैसेज नहीं आता है आपको. फाइन. नाउ इफ यू हैव अ लेसन एंड दैट लेसन इज ऑफ 3 पेजेस एंड इफ दैट लेसन हैज 200 लाइंस, मतलब वो लेसन में से प्रोबेबिलिटी कितना है पैसेजेस, अलग अलग पैसेजेस आने का? 10 पैसेज आने का प्रोबेबिलिटी है. अच्छा, ये 10 पैसेज के ऊपर देयर कैन बी 10 डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस और ये 10 सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस में से देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि हर सेट में से शायद सिर्फ एक ही क्वेश्चन मैच करेगा जो आपके टेक्स्ट बुक के पीछे है. मतलब टेक्स्ट बुक के पीछे का जो टेक्सचुअल एक्सरसाइज है, दैट्स अनफॉर्चुनेटली नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू अ लॉट. आई मेड इट क्लियर व्हाई इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू अ लॉट, क्योंकि उसमें से क्वेश्चंस आने का पॉसिबिलिटी इज वेरी वेरी स्लिम, इट्स वेरी वेरी थिन, राइट? लेकिन पूरे लेसन में से 10 पैसेज आने का प्रोबेबिलिटी है. अब देखो यहाँ पे प्रोबेबिलिटी गेम कितना बढ़ जाता है. How many lessons do we have in all in your English textbook? 8 lessons, right? अब 8 lessons and हर lesson में से अगर 10 passage मैं minimum पकड़ रही हूँ because you have lessons which are more than 200 lines. So I'm considering the lowest. I'm considering an average. So अगर 10 passages भी आने का possibility है from one lesson multiplied by 8 becomes how much? 80 passages. मतलब minimum हम 80 passages practice करके ready रहने चाहिए, कॉम्प्रीहेंड करके रेडी रहने चाहिए. और हम कितने पैसेज प्रैक्टिस करके कॉम्प्रीहेंड करके रेडी रहते हैं बिफोर द एग्जाम? नॉट इवन 8, नॉट इवन 10% ऑफ व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग. आर यू गेटिंग मी? वेयर इज द लर्निंग गैप, वेयर इज द लूप होल? लेसन मैंने पढ़ा दिया. अच्छा, इंग्लिश के लेसन में बहुत मजा आता है क्योंकि लोड ही नहीं है ना. Unlike SP or unlike OC or unlike economics, where you really have to strain on your brain and you have to understand अरे ये सर क्या बोल रहे, demand and supply and saturation and पता नहीं what terms he is using. It becomes easy because it's in the form of a story. You have characters, you have stories, there is a lesson, there is some kind of plot, some kind of a twist or some kind of suspense. That is what happens in English. So when you are sitting and understanding the lesson, there is not much of a load on your brain. But then when you actually have to sit and solve the answers, when you actually have to comprehend the passage पढ़ के भी समझ में आ जाता है. चैलेंज कहाँ आता है? उसके बेसिस पे जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं उसको अटेम्प्ट कैसे करना है, उसको आंसर कैसे करना है, हमको वो नहीं समझ में आता है. And that basically is a technique, that basically is a skill. How do you develop a skill? You develop a skill by practicing, and that is what we don't do, right? So what you are going to do in English, I tell you. अच्छा, ये तो lesson था तो ठीक है, lesson तो फिर भी हम कैसे जैसे manage कर लेते हैं. The struggle is not very big. The struggle comes into picture when we talk about a poem, because we all are not creative people. So हर एक poem में एक गहरा छुपा हुआ meaning होता है. You know, poet वो poem के जरिए कुछ और बताना चाहता है, उसके words कुछ और बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन उसका जो deep lying meaning है वो कुछ और बताने की कोशिश कर रहा है. वो अपने को नहीं समझ रहा है. We are not that deep people ना. We are not Kabir Singh. We are normal people, normal human beings. So what happens with a poem is, again the challenge is, if there is a answer which is not openly there in the poem, तो उसको अंडरस्टैंड करना मुश्किल है. I'll give you a simple example. There is a poem which is called as Weavers. ठीक है, 12th स्टैंडर्ड के इसमें. अभी वीवर कौन होता है? वीवर होता है जो कपड़े बुनता है, ठीक है, जो कपड़े बनाता है. पहले जब टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज नहीं थे, it was weavers who used to make the clothes. Now weavers make clothes for all occasion, happy occasion, sad occasion. They make clothes for young, they make clothes for old. Now the poem talks about the clothes and the weavers and what kind of clothes do they weave. But then the deeper lying meaning of the poem is, यही वीवर जो एक न्यूबॉर्न बेबी के कपड़े बनाता है, जो जिंदगी को वेलकम करता है, वो एक मुर्दे का कफन भी बनाता है, मौत को भी वेलकम करता है. That means weavers complete the circle of your life. There's a possibility that a weaver who has woven a cloth for a newborn baby, the same weaver also weaves a cloth for a person who is dead. So you know the deeper meaning of this poem is the cycle of life and death, right? And वो cycle of life and death के साथ the importance of clothes. मतलब कोई मर गया तो शॉपिंग नहीं करते क्या? लोग करते हैं, सफेद कपड़ों की शॉपिंग करने लगते हैं, राइट? सो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ क्लोथ्स. सो क्लोथ्स आर लाइक योर सेकंड स्किन. So one is the cloth that God has given you, a natural one, and the second is the clothes that we wear. And do clothes talk about or they indicate about our personality? They do. Do they talk about the occasion? They do. So tomorrow I wear a nice fancy, you know, zaga maga malabaga dress and come to class. They say, ma'am, आपका birthday है क्या? What is so special today? Why are you wearing this all glittery dress? So it talks about the occasion, it talks about the personality of a person, it talks about your choice, your taste in life. So ये poem को अगर आप ऐसे, you know, it is like layers. अगर ऐसे आप डिस्कस करने जाओगे ना तो बहुत लेयर्स खुलेंगे. मतलब पोएट ने कितना कुछ ध्यान में रख के वो पोएम लिखा है. बट व्हेन यू रीड इट एज अ स्टूडेंट यू विल बी लाइक, अच्छा वीवर बच्चे के लिए कपड़ा बनाता है, इसके लिए बनाता है, उसके लिए बनाता है, उसके लिए बनाता है. हाँ, कपड़ा ही बनाएगा ना वीवर, और क्या करेगा? You know, you as a student will say, अरे क्या है ये? What is this poem trying to tell me? A weaver makes clothes, हाँ वो ही बनाएगा, goldsmith थोड़ी बनाएगा, blacksmith थोड़ी बनाएगा. You will interpret it in a very plain manner. But then when it comes to comprehending the poem, that is where the challenge arises. Because you are not able to understand what is the poet trying to tell you, or what is the deeper lying meaning, or you know what does the white cloth indicate, or what does the blue cloth indicate. So white talks about death, blue talks about joy or happiness, whatever. So that poem you will have to understand it from all angles. अब वो all angles से understand करने के लिए उसके 10 अलग-अलग passages को solve करना पड़ेगा. So unless and until you learn the art of comprehending, you are not going to score in English. One. इसके अलावा the second challenge is what? The second challenge is grammar. Correct? Now the problem with grammar is, grammar आपको कोई कितने अच्छे से भी explain करे, if you don't end up solving at least 50 sentences based on that topic, you are not going to master that topic. So if I solve 500 sentences in the class also before your exam, and if you ask me, ma'am, ये 500 में से ही आएगा ना एग्जाम में, I tell you no बेटा, there is no guarantee. वो 500 में से शायद एक सेंटेंस भी नहीं आए बोर्ड एग्जामिनेशन में. I tell you why, because English is very vast ना. कहीं से भी कुछ भी पिकअप कर सकते हैं, आप उसको ब्रैकेट में नहीं डाल सकते कि ये पोर्शन के बाहर का आया है. सो व्हाट विल हैपन इज, अनलेस एंड अंटिल, हाँ 500 सेंटेंसेस सॉल्व किया, उसमें से एक भी सेंटेंस अगर एग्जाम में नहीं आया, स्टिल यू विल बी एबल टू अटेम्प्ट द एग्जाम वाला सेंटेंसेस. सो यू नो इट्स लाइक शार्पनिंग योर एक्स. सो 500 सेंटेंस सॉल्व करके आपने आपके ग्रामर को शार्पन कर लिया. अब 501 वाला सेंटेंस नया भी होगा कहीं और से जो आपने पहले नहीं किया है, स्टिल यू विल बी इन अ पोजीशन टू सॉल्व इट, because now your axe has been sharpened. So grammar is all about what? Grammar is all about practice. When you talk about the comprehension, is comprehension all about practice? Yes. When you talk about the poem comprehension, is it all about practice? Yes. And last but not the least, what comes into the picture is writing skills. Now see, हमको एक गलत फहमी होती है, मेरे को writing आता है. The term is writing नहीं आता है, मेरे को copy करने को आता है. बोर्ड पे जो भी लिखा है ना, मैं अच्छे से copy कर सकता है. So writing becomes altogether different. There are two things in writing. I'll tell you. One writing is what? One writing is duplication. Duplication हमको सबको आता है, बचपन से सिखाया है. The second writing is application. Application में दिमाग अप्लाई करना है, जो हमको किसी ने नहीं सिखाया और हमने सीखने की कोशिश भी नहीं की. So writing skills में you don't need duplication. What do you need is application. What is the second word? The second word is skill. Skill का मतलब क्या होता है? Skill का मतलब होता है talent. So talent overnight develop होता है? नहीं. मतलब अगर आप 30 लेटर राइटिंग लिखोगे तो 31वां लेटर राइटिंग वो क्वालिटी का आएगा कि आपको 4 में से 3.5 मिलेगा या 5 में से 4.5 मिलेगा. अगर हम 10 ब्लॉग लिखेंगे तो 11वें ब्लॉग के टाइम वी विल नॉट स्ट्रगल कि क्या लिखूं, ब्लॉग कैसे लिखते हैं, ये फॉर्मेट राइट है या नहीं है. बराबर. अगर आप 20 एक्सपेंशन ऑफ आइडियाज लिखते हो तो 21वां एक्सपेंशन ऑफ आइडिया विल बी लाइक, oh I know this. Correct? So here also what comes into the picture is practice, right? Now the googling as per the new syllabus and the new paper pattern. For the first time ever since the paper pattern has been changed in the history of English, you need to by heart something. And what is that? That is section 4, drama. 11th में drama था, 12th में it is novels, right? So you'll have to by heart the question answers of novels. And वो बाय हार्ट करने के बाद भी उसमें से कितना आएगा हमको पता नहीं है. There is a possibility that you may be asked a different set of questions altogether. But then you will have to know the novels by heart. How many novels do we have? 4. तो ये 4 novels का weightage is 16 marks. तो छोटा मोटा weightage नहीं है. 16 is 20% out of 80. So can you let it go just like that? You cannot. You will have to by heart it. You will have to know and understand the novels really well. And you will have to understand the characters and the plot and the situation and the story and the happenings. You will have to remember them in the order. And again novels का हमको एक सिर्फ छोटा सा part दिया है. So you will have to know the bigger story. Or bigger story I'll tell you, that is not a problem. But then you will have to remember the bigger story and also the smaller story which is there in your book in the form of the extract. So you cannot say that this time I don't have to memorize anything in English. You also have to memorize a bit. एंड मेमोराइज करने के बाद उसको रिवाइज भी करना पड़ेगा. करेक्ट. और वो चैप्टर को रीड भी करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू, टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चंस ही आएंगे, ऐसा कोई हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है. तो टेक्सचुअल क्वेश्चंस के अलावा यू विल आल्सो हैव टू मैनेज, यू विल आल्सो हैव टू फिगर आउट, वर्क आउट, कैलकुलेट कि इसमें से और क्या पूछा जा सकता है. बाय डिफॉल्ट सबका कैरेक्टर स्केच करना है. बाय डिफॉल्ट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द प्लॉट एंड द स्टोरी. By default, you need to understand how the events unfold one after the other, and by default, you have to by heart all the question answers which are given there in the textbook. उसके अलावा extra और करना पड़ेगा. So that means if I have to summarize your English का studies, is number 1, you are going to practice comprehension. And what kind of a comprehension? और उसको वही पैटर्न में करना है. You'll have to comprehend what? 1, a prose, scene prose, B, a scene poem, and 3rd, unseen prose. Correct? Unseen passage भी आएगा. So we need to comprehend these 3 things. That is 1. What is the second thing that you are going to do? The second thing that you are going to do is practice grammar. What is the third thing that you are going to do is practice. थर्ड वाला क्या है? राइटिंग स्किल्स. एंड व्हाट इज द फोर्थ वन? द फोर्थ वन इज यू आर गोइंग टू मेमोराइज क्वेश्चन आंसर्स ऑफ section 4, which is your novel. Correct? So how much do we have? Going to dedicate to each section. I'll tell you that also. And see, this will help you in your time management also. So one prose का passage आपका 15 to 20 minutes में सॉल्व हो जाना चाहिए. अब आप कौन सा प्रोज वाला, अच्छा ये तीनों एक दिन नहीं करना है ना. So today if I explain you lesson number 1, What are you going to go home and do today? Practice or do the comprehension of lesson number 1. कितना पैसेज करोगे? एटलीस्ट 3, मिनिमम 3 या मिनिमम 2. अगर आप 15-20 मिनट्स भी लगाते हो और 2 पैसेजेस भी सॉल्व करते हो, हाउ मच टाइम आर यू गोइंग टू रिक्वायर? 40 minutes, right? If I explain a poem tomorrow, you are going to go home and do the comprehension of the poem, at least 2, so another 40 minutes, right? The day I explain grammar, I give you question answers, not answers, questions based on that particular topic. So for example, if I am explaining change the voice today, I will give you an exercise of at least 25 to 30 sentences of change the voice. You are going to go home and solve that. Again, that's not going to take more than 15-20 minutes. अगर आपको 30 सेंटेंस दिया और एक सेंटेंस को 1 मिनट भी लगता है, उतना ही लगता है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लगता है. You are dedicating how much time? Half an hour. If I explain letter writing today, after going home, if you write 2 letter writing, 1 letter writing should not take more than 10 to 15 minutes. Again, how much of time? Half an hour. So the day, that's what I told you ना. 2 घंटे का लेक्चर है तो घर जाके उसका पढ़ाई कितने देर में हो जाएगा? आधे घंटे. एंड ये अगर ये पूरे वेकेशन में कर लोगे तो इज इट गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ लॉट ऑफ बर्डन और लोड during the final exam? No. And again, the day I explain novel, you are going to go home and memorize or by heart the question answers that you have in the novel section, right? So every day it is going to be only a half an hour of study. Now the second question is, ma'am, from where will I get the passages? So you will be getting the notes, right? So what I am going to do is, we are not writing the textual question answers for homework. Why are we not writing them? We will be discussing them, but you are not going to write it in your notebook. Why you are not going to write it in your notebook? Because it is not going to come in the exam like that. So we are going to be exam oriented, not textbook oriented. So exam oriented बनने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? Textual passage को solve करना पड़ेगा. And in your notes you have a lot of passages, right? So from the notes I will be telling you that आज के दिन घर जाके कौन से passages solve करने हैं. And once you solve those passages, your life will become easy because you will be moving inch by inch towards your examination in a very slow and steady but a consistent manner. So that's what we are going to do. We don't have to rush, but we have to prepare. And how is your preparation going to be? It is going to be consistent. Consistent मतलब रोज आधा घंटा पढ़ो, लेकिन पढ़ो. हम क्या करते हैं? रोज आधा घंटा नहीं पढ़ते. एग्जाम के पहले दिन और घंटा पढ़ते. So there is no consistency, na, because 8 hours your mind is not able to digest whatever you are feeding. It will vomit. So what is better is studying every day for half an hour rather than sitting in the last minute and studying for 8 hours or 10 hours. So this is clear. Whatever the approach towards your subject is clear. What we are going to do throughout the year, or especially in the vacation. Let us not talk about the year also. Let us talk only about the vacation right now. Okay? So by the end of this vacation, you have to be thoroughly prepared with whatever has been done in the class with respect to all the subjects, not just English. Okay? So this is done. All set? Chalo. Now let us move to your textbook. How many units, how many sections do you have in your textbook in all? 4. What is the first section? Prose section. Second one? Third one? Fourth one? Novel. Right? The genre is drama, but then we are going to learn novel under it. Now, I will not be taking the entire unit 1 by one after the other. What will happen is, Nico, by the end of the vacation, only our prose section will be done, and then poetry section पूरा ऐसे ही रह जाएगा. And if I do poems back to back, there is a possibility that you may not be able to digest it well. So what we will do is, we will be taking up 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, 4.1. That is the order in which I will move. Then वो हो गया तो 1.2, 2.1, 1.2, 2.2, 3.2 and 4.2. वो हो गया तो 1.3, 2.3, 3.3 and 4.3. So what will happen is, we will have a balance of everything. एक पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर में प्रोज हो जाएगा, एक पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर में पोएम हो जाएगा, एक में राइटिंग स्किल हो जाएगा, एक में आपका ड्रामा या नॉवेल हो जाएगा, एंड उसके बाद 1 लेक्चर आई विल बी डूइंग ग्रामर. So what will happen is, यहाँ पे 4 सेक्शन है, बट अपने लिए कितने सेक्शंस है? 5. So out of these 4 sections, the new section that we are adding here is the grammar section. So that whatever topic is done in that particular lecture, you go home and practice 30, 40, 50, 60 sentences on that topic. You close that topic. ये भी change the voice मेरे को आता है. I know I have been explained, I have solved 50 sentences. I am confident that if a new sentence is asked, I'll be able to solve it. That is how we are going to proceed with your studies. Now before I move, this is one thing which is very important. This I had explained last year also, I am explaining it again. So this basically, I'll let you know the page number. The page, it is the first page, section 1 के पहले वाला page है. I have rotated the page. You'll have to maybe turn your textbook and understand it. So basically, if you look at this, this is an entire table or chart which tells you what is your unit 1 going to cover. And please remember, the textbook is your Bible. So whenever the person whosoever is going to set your paper, he will sit with your textbook and he will try to cover up all these things first, because these are the learning outcomes. Learning outcome in the sense, unit 1 में से आप क्या क्या सीखोगे. Now look at the table that is given. See, the first one is serial number, the heading of the columns, individual columns. One is serial number. The second one is the title or the type of the topic. So basically that is the name of the lesson. Fine. The third one is the vocabulary, language study and poetic device. अब देखो, vocabulary और language study applicable है poems, lessons को, and poetic device applicable है poem को. So it is slash ना. So whatever is applicable वहाँ पे वो है. उसके बाद क्या है, राइटिंग स्किल. उसके बाद देयर इज अ एक्सटेंशन ऑफ एक्टिविटीज एंड प्रोजेक्ट, एंड उसके बाद द वैल्यूज एंड द लाइफ स्किल दैट यू लर्न फ्रॉम दैट लेसन. सो इफ यू लुक एट द फर्स्ट लेसन, एन एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स डे, what is the vocabulary that we are going to learn there? We are going to learn something called as code mixing over there. Now see, you have to be thorough with this table. मतलब इसमें से अगर code mixing दिया हुआ है, अभी तक मैंने नहीं सिखाया, but सिखाने के let us say after 2 or 3 months, if I ask you what is code mixing, you should be able to tell me what is code mixing. Why? Because इसका एग्जाम में आने का probability ज़्यादा है. Whatever topics are listed here, they will come in the exam. Word usage also I'll explain. Writing skill में यहाँ पे what writing skills we'll be learning? Draft a speech and expansion of an idea. Now if you look at your third unit, do we have expansion of idea in the third unit? Does it mean it will not come in the exam? It will. 11th standard में 3.1 was expansion of idea. 12th में expansion of idea आपके writing skill वाले unit 3 में नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी वो आएगा because it is there in the textbook. So what do some children do? They argue, अरे ये हमको सिखाया नहीं, ये third unit में नहीं है माँ, but वो इधर है. So you cannot say that this is not going to come in the exam. Do we have speech writing in that third unit? No. But can it come in the exam? Yes. Why? Because it is right there in your textbook. ठीक है. Then extension और activities और project क्या है? Reading short stories as a form. So this is something that you are going to do to develop your English. Hard and fast नहीं है. अब ये basically एक short story है. Fine. अब ये short story के बाद आपका homework क्या है कि आप और कोई short story पढ़ो. And I will recommend same author का पढ़ो. So that you come to know कि वो author कैसा लिखता है, उसका सोच कैसा है, उसका approach कैसा है. See, authors का एक pattern होता है. I'll make it very simple. Movie directors का एक pattern होता है. संजय लीला भंसाली, larger than life movies, historical movies, youth sets, a lot of color, but single color, right? That is Sanjay Leela Bhansali. So every director has a pattern. Rohit Shetty, गाड़ियाँ उड़ाओ, action लाओ, bike दौड़ाओ, that's Rohit Shetty. So that's a signature. The minute you see, हाँ ये ऐसे ही movies बनाता है. जब इसके movie में तो ये होना ही होना है रे. You know that. So when you start reading a particular author, you understand his pattern. अरे ये author तो ऐसे ही लिखता है. He talks about simple people. He talks about daily life. He talks about what we see around us. So you come to know कि this is the pattern or this is the style of this particular author. And then उसके बाद what are the values and life skills that you are going to learn from this unit? You are going to learn wit and humor. अब देखो ये words important होते हैं. ये कहाँ काम आते हैं पता है? Personal response question में काम आता है. What is the difference between wit and humor? Wit and intelligence. Wit बोला तो दिमाग में क्या आता है पहले? Witty. Witty. Who is witty? हम सबको एक witty इंसान पता है बचपन से जिसकी कहानी सुनी है. Birbal. Exactly. So Birbal was a witty person. Was he an intelligent person? No. What is the difference between intelligence and wit? Wit is using your brain at the right time, the presence of mind, right? A intelligent person who doesn't have presence of mind वो मरेगा. लेकिन विटी पर्सन वो सिचुएशन में से निकलेगा क्योंकि उसको दिमाग भी है और उसको प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड भी है. ही नोज कि कब कहाँ क्या बोलना है या क्या करना है. एंड विट विल ऑलवेज ब्रिंग अ स्माइल ऑन योर फेस. इंटेलिजेंट में impress you, but then if a person is witty you will have a smile on your face. Another witty person is Tenali Raman. Correct? So wit समझ में आया. wit क्या है? आप सिचुएशन को कैसे अपने एडवांटेज में घुमाते हो. So you may not be very intelligent, but if you are witty you will know how to mold the situation so that it will favor you and it will put a smile on the other person's face. That is wit. ठीक है? What do you understand by the next? And humor. Humor is something that will make you laugh. Right? Humor हम सबको पता है. The next word is astuteness. What is astuteness? Astuteness is the quality of being shrewd and clever. Astute is somebody who is diplomatic and clever. That is astuteness. So diplomatic बंदा कौन होता है? सबको खुश रखता है सिचुएशन के हिसाब से. That's a diplomatic person. किसी को नाराज नहीं करता है. Diplomatic इंसान will play with words. Right? So that's astuteness. What do you understand by ingenuity? Genuine, but then ingenuity is non-genuine. Being genuine as per your convenience. You are genuine and the other person doesn't know that you are genuine. Or you are genuine but you use that for your advantage. Correct? So, these are the values and the life skills that you learn from this lesson. Now, if you get a personal question, personal response question, what type of a man the astrologer was? So, he was an astute person. So, the minute you write astute person, don't you think you will get 2 out of 2 in that personal response question? You will. But if you write the astrologer was a clever person, तो गुरु आप clever क्यों था बचपन में? अभी astute बनो. Are you getting me? So if you want to raise your bar, focus on this. This will help you out with a lot of things. Now see the second unit on saying please. वहाँ पे manners आप क्या सीख रहे हो? Value your life skill, etiquette and manners. Are you getting me? Etiquette and manners. तो manners हम बचपन से सीखते हैं. Etiquette हम बड़े होने के बाद सीखते हैं. Manners क्या होता है? Manners is simply behaving good. Manners is saying sorry, please, thank you, excuse me. Etiquettes are related to certain things. एक पता है डाइनिंग टेबल एटिकेट होता है. डाइनिंग टेबल पे कैसे खाना है. एक फोन एटिकेट होता है. फोन पे चिल्ला के नहीं बात करनी है. फोन पे झगड़ा नहीं करना है. फोन पे आर्ग्यू नहीं करना है. या फिर even if you are busy, pick up the phone and tell the person I am busy, I am in meeting, I'll get back to you later. So etiquettes या manners. Etiquettes या manners certain चीजों से related होते हैं. Right? I mean manners हम सब बचपन से सीखते हैं. Etiquettes are related to certain things. So like for example, when you get into a lift. What is the etiquette? Lift etiquette. You are very politely going to tell the liftman that sir, I have to go on the fifth floor. He will press the button for you. After you get down from the lift, a liftman नहीं है तो अलग बात. But अगर liftman है तो this is what you are supposed to do. And after getting down from the lift, are you going to thank the liftman? Yes. Because he is helping you to close the door and open the door and take you to your floor safely. And God forbid if something happens, you have the liftman inside the lift to help you out because he is trained. So that's the lift etiquette. What is the etiquette of getting into a cab or getting down from a cab? You are going to thank the cab person. You can greet the cab person when you get into the cab. लेकिन हमको लगता है उसको क्या गुड मॉर्निंग बोलना है. बोल सकते हो ना, क्यों नहीं बोल सकते. So etiquette manners आप इधर सीखोगे. Introspective spirit. What is introspection? Introspection is खुद के अंदर झांक के देखना. That is introspection. When you look within, when you try to find out what is good with you, what is wrong with you, what is correct with you, that is introspection. या ये situation में मेरा गलती था या नहीं था. That is introspection. So introspection is what you learn here. Humility is the quality of being humble, being down to earth, not being egoistic, not being proud. These all qualities you learn in the second lesson. So can you use these words in your answers? You can. So before doing every lesson, we are going to discuss this and you are going to make sure that you follow this. One is you are going to make sure कि इसमें जितने vocabulary topics है वो हमको आते हैं. Second, you are going to make sure कि इसमें जितने writing skills के topics है वो हमको आते हैं. Third, you are going to make sure that you know the meanings of the values that you learn and when the right time comes, you are going to use them. Alright. So your first lesson is an astrologer's day. Now we officially move on to your lesson. The name of the lesson is an astrologer's day. Now what do you understand by an astrologer? First, astrologer का मतलब क्या होता है? Astrology. Astrology is a science. And who's an astrologer? Somebody who will calculate the movement of the planet and tell you your future. Is it only the future that they talk about? Do they talk only about your future? No. They also talk about your past. They will normally not talk about your present, but they generally talk about your past and they talk about your future. Why do you think people go to an astrologer? Multiple reasons. The first reason is if you are getting married, your mother will go to astrologer and tell the astrologer कि कोई अच्छा सा मुहूर्त बता दो आलिया और रणवीर की शादी के लिए. So why do we go to astrologer? One is to know a auspicious date for carrying out a occasion. It could be anything. It could be a marriage. It could be a mundan. It could be the naming ceremony of a child, or it could be anything else, or a house warming party, or the grah pravesh, जो भी है. That's one reason. Second is people go to astrologer to know about their future or to understand why they are facing challenges in their life. And what does the astrologer do? The astrologer will make your horoscope. If you have a horoscope, well and good. नहीं होगा तो बनाएगा. And how do they make the horoscope? On what basis? On the basis of your date of birth, on the basis of the timing of your birth, and on the basis of the place where you are born. Place important क्यों होता है? Because आपका टाइमलाइन शिफ्ट होता है ना, चेंज होता है ना. सो दिल्ली में जो अभी जितना टाइम है उतना मुंबई में नहीं है. दिल्ली शायद अपने से 4 या 5 मिनट आगे है या 4 या 5 मिनट पीछे हो सकता है, whatever, I don't know. But then if a person is born in Bombay and if a person is born in USA, the time difference is going to be there. So time is also important, place is also important. तो time और place basically connected है. तो आप जिस जगह पे पैदा हुए वो हिसाब से वो आपका टाइमिंग बराबर कैलकुलेट करते हैं. आपका ईयर इम्पोर्टेंट है और आपका डेट इम्पोर्टेंट है. So they calculate and then what do? They tell you that which planets in your horoscope are not aligned, which planets are not in the right position, and that's the reason why you are facing a health issue or a finance issue, or maybe some kind of problem in your job or in your career. And then what do? They give you a remedy. Now what kind of a remedy is given by an astrologer? They will ask you to wear a anguthi, a ring with a specific gemstone. So every gemstone is related to one of your planet. So आपका जो भी planet खराब है उस हिसाब से वो gemstone आपको recommend करके वो ring पहनने बोलेगा. That is one. Second is they may ask you to carry out some small puja or some small ritual. They may ask you to do. ठीक है. The third thing that they may do is they may tell you that this requires a big puja, not possible for you to do. You get me all the stuff, you pay me, I will conduct it on behalf of you. तो इसके लिए थोड़ा there is some chanting, some संस्कृत का श्लोक जो मे बी आप नहीं अटर कर पाओगे, आप नहीं बोल पाओगे. I will do it on behalf of you. You simply pay me for that. That is what they normally do. Now see why we are discussing all this. We are discussing all this because the kind of questions that you get from this particular lesson, उसमें ये सब भी आपको पूछा जा सकता है. You have to be prepared from all the angles, right? The second and the most important thing, there is a big debate. A lot of people believe in astrology and a lot of people don't believe in astrology. The another problem is there are some genuine astrologers and there are some fake astrologers. There are some people who will take you on a ride, who will fool you, and there are some people who are genuine. Genuine in the sense, at least they have a very proper deep knowledge or they have studied astrology really well. See, nobody can change your future. Rather, we don't even know what future has in store for us. But then, जो genuine astrologer है वो क्या करेगा? Right calculation करेगा planets का. The planets do move. Astrology is a science. अब वो planets अपने life को affect करते हैं या नहीं करते मुझे नहीं पता. But all I know is that the planets do move. The planets do change their positions and ये calculation जिसको आता है वो genuine astrologer है. How does it impact or affect our lives? I don't know. I still don't know. But then वो genuine astrologer और fake astrologer का difference हो गया. Now who are the people who go to an astrologer? See, people who are a little vulnerable, people who are a little gullible. Gullible people वो होते हैं जो बहुत जल्दी डर जाते हैं, जिनको ना अपने पे भरोसा नहीं होता है, जिनको ऐसे लगता है कि something will go wrong if they are not following things the way the rest of the people are following. So that is what happens with gullible people. So So let us say there's a puja in your house and you know मम्मी ने अखंड दीपक जलाया है. अखंड दीपक पता है जो ऐसा 9 दिन 9 रात जलता है नवरात्रि के टाइम. अब वो दीपक अचानक बुझ गया. So your mother, if she is a gullible person, she will say अरे कुछ तो बुरा होने वाला है, मेरे घर पे संकट आ रहा है. Now if your mother is a logical lady, she will say अरे बग्गा किसने जलाया, दिया बुझ गया. She light it again. Is she going to be afraid of the fact that you know because the lamp has gone off, something wrong is going to happen? If she is not gullible, she will not be afraid. But if she is gullible, she will be afraid. She will go and consult somebody. Have you know I've been doing this for the past 15 years. कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ. ये first time ऐसे हुआ. So then you know the astrologer is also very smart. He will say हाँ तुम्हारे घर पे बड़ा संकट पड़ रहा है. किसी ने तो तुम्हारे घर पे काली नजर डाली है. उपाय करना पड़ेगा. You know they build up. They talk like that. Because you know they want to impress the other person and more than impressing, they want the other person to be afraid. तो लोग ऐसे डराएंगे. एकदम पता है फेस लेके बिल्ड करके, and then that is how they will talk. So people who are vulnerable, people who are gullible, they go to a astrologer. And if the astrologer is a genuine one, or if the astrologer, the way I told you, उसका studies proper है, so he may not really be able to trick you. Otherwise, I have known people जिनको बहुत बुरी तरह से astrologers ने trick किया है, into maybe you know giving them lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So that's all about an astrologer. And then now we talk a little bit about the author of the lesson. Who's the author of the lesson? R.K. Narayanan. Any idea about who this person is? R.K. Narayanan के बारे में कुछ सुना है, कुछ पढ़ा है? Any idea? Ever heard his name earlier? Yes or no? Who has heard his name earlier? Who has heard his? Yes.
10th में स्टोरी था.
क्या नाम था स्टोरी का?
बैंक वाला था.
Okay. Anyone else knows anything about R.K. Narayanan? Okay. I tell you about R.K. Narayanan. See, you need to know a little bit about the author. R.K. Narayanan is the one who has written Malgudi Days. Everybody knows Malgudi Days. Malgudi Days के बारे में सुना है? हाँ. So Malgudi Days basically is a imaginary village. Malgudi नाम का कोई village है नहीं. But then the village was created by R.K. Narayanan, and who was the main character in Malgudi Days? It was a small boy जिसका नाम रहता है स्वामी. And स्वामी जिस गांव में रहता है वो गांव का नाम मालगुड़ी है. And वो उस गांव में क्या क्या करता है? How he has fun with his friends, how he has you know how his family members are, and all the different members of the family, the people of the village, and whatever happens between Swami and the people of the village, and Swami and his family, and Swami and his friends. That is the story of Malgudi Days. Alright, Malgudi Days का एक typical tune है. If you have heard that tune, so it is like you know ta na 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 na. So that's the tune of Malgudi Days, right? So Malgudi Days was written by R.K. Narayanan. R.K. Narayanan, what does the name tell you about him? He is a typical South Indian fellow, R.K. Narayanan. Now वो R.K. का बहुत बड़ा full form है. I don't know that, I don't remember that. But there's a nice big lengthy name. ये जो R.K. Narayanan है. The kind of names that South Indians have, a kind of a lengthy name. Now this fellow was born before India's independence, and his father was an English teacher, and his grandmother knew Sanskrit. So that means ये बच्चे का बचपन बर्बाद. Father English teacher and grandmother knowing Sanskrit. So this fellow was always pressurized to study. And South Indians, you know, they are very particular about studies. They always want to get good marks. Their parents want them to get good marks. So this child also was overburdened by his father and by his grandmother. Now the problem with R.K. Narayanan was that he did not like to study as a child. He wanted to play, spend a lot of time with his friends. And what happened was he was often beaten up by his father for not studying. His grandmother also used to take up his studies. So there was no escape for him. And unfortunately when he was in his matriculation, so पहले 10th standard नहीं होता था, 11th standard was called as matriculation. So when he was in his matriculate exam, unfortunately he flunked, he failed. अब अगर आप मैट्रिक के एग्जाम में 10th या 12th के एग्जाम में फेल होते हो तो यू कैन नॉट गो बैक टू द स्कूल और कॉलेज अगेन. आपको घर बैठने पड़ता है, पूरा पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है, एंड देन यू गिव आइदर द अक्टूबर अटेम्प्ट और द मार्च अटेम्प्ट. सो दिस फेलो हैड टू सिट एट होम एंड स्टडी. His father thought that that was a big insult to him. टीचर का बच्चा फेल हो गया तो यू नो टीचर का एबिलिटी क्वेश्चन मार्क में आ जाता है ना, दूसरे बच्चे को क्या पढ़ेगा, अपने बच्चे को पास नहीं करा सका, दैट काइंड. सो हिज फादर फेल्ट दैट इट वाज अ बिग इंसल्ट, ऑलराइट, एंड हिज फादर थॉट दैट दिस बॉय इज बोर्न टू डिफेम मी, बट somehow you know he completed his exam. He was a Tamil Brahmin, so he completed his exam, he cleared his matriculation exam, and then he got to work with a English newspaper as a journalist. So his English was good because his father was an English teacher and अच्छा था English. पढ़ाई में he was not very good, but then he had a good command over the language. So because of that he got the job of a journalist in the newspaper. But what was the newspaper all about, you know? The newspaper used to carry a lot of articles which were anti-Brahmin. So a Brahmin working with a newspaper which is anti-Brahmin. So the father got another chance to speak. He said, तू यही कर बेटा, तू बदनामी कर मुझे, तू मेरे against ही जा, तू मेरे खिलाफ ही जा. But then this poor fellow said the job is paying me well, and I am writing against Brahmins, which is genuinely correct. You know, because बहुत सारी Brahmin practices हैं which do not go well with the rest of the people. Like, you know, not allowing the untouchables to enter the temple, not allowing the untouchables to educate themselves. So he said whatever I am writing is logical, but his father did not really like that. Now he had a friend, a British friend who was his colleague. He was the one who encouraged him that why don't you write? And that is where the first story written by R.K. Narayanan was Swami and his friends, जिसके बेसिस पे आगे मालगुडी डेज बना था. Now उसके बाद ये हुआ कि this fellow, when it was time for him to get married, they went to see a girl, a Tamil girl, recommended by one of the family members. This fellow liked the girl immediately and he decided that I am going to get married to her only. But when the horoscopes were matched, the horoscopes unfortunately did not match. So his father refused because again, Brahmins में वो horoscope matching बहुत important होता है, वो नहीं match हुआ तो शादी नहीं होगा. But then this fellow again went against his father and he said, if at all I am going to get married, I am going to get married to this girl. Otherwise, I am not getting married at all. So his family had to give in, and he got married to the same girl, irrespective of that the horoscope did not match. Unfortunately, she died after a few years, and people said you are responsible because the horoscope did not match. So maybe you know कहीं ना कहीं astrologer के पीछे, astrologer का story लिखने के पीछे उसके life का भी एक inspiration हो सकता है कि astrology नहीं होता है. See, his wife had to die. She was not well. I mean, she did not die because the horoscope did not match. Horoscope match हो जाता तो वो immortal नहीं हो जाती थी ना, कभी ना कभी तो मरती, either sooner or later. So maybe you know he wanted to point out this. And then later on he wrote a couple of books. The most famous book written by R.K. Narayanan is The Guide. The name of the book is The Guide. And The Guide के ऊपर एक movie बना है. So Devanand is the one who has acted in the movie Guide. Vaida Raman is the actress, Devanand is the actor. And Guide was made in Hindi, but then it was also dubbed in English, and Guide movie represented India at the Oscars that particular year. So it was a brilliant movie, a brilliant story. If you want, you can read The Guide once we finish doing this after going home. Or you can read Swami and his friends, or you can read other short stories which are written by R.K. Narayanan. He is undoubtedly one of the finest writers that we had. The best example of that is Malgudi Days, because it's a classic. It was a hit then, back then, it's a hit even today. Even today children enjoy watching Malgudi Days because you know they can relate with whatever is happening in the story, and they are like, हाँ मेरे को भी ऐसा मार पड़ता है. I also you know sneak out with my friends like this. I also do all these kind of mischiefs. So that is popular even today. So that's all about R.K. Narayanan. You can read a bit about him. A few things about his writing. Most of the time he draws inspiration from real people. जैसे मालगुडी डेज में भी स्वामी एंड हिज फ्रेंड्स में स्वामी वो खुद है, मतलब उसने खुद का नाम स्वामी रखा वो पर्टिकुलर लेसन में. सो वहाँ पे इंस्पिरेशन कौन है वो कैरेक्टर का? हिज ओन चाइल्डहुड, ही हिमसेल्फ. हिज फ्रेंड्स ऑफ कोर्स आर रियल पीपल, रियल फ्रेंड्स. अपने बचपन के फ्रेंड्स उसने उसमें डिस्क्राइब किए. द गाइड का भी ऐसा था कि कहीं ना कहीं यू नो द गाइड इज द स्टोरी अबाउट अ मैन हु डज अ लॉट ऑफ मिस्टेक्स इन हिज लाइफ एंड लेटर ऑन ही रिफॉर्म्स, ही चेंजेस हिमसेल्फ. सो दैट आल्सो ही इंटरैक्टेड विद अ पर्सन जिसके लाइफ में ऐसे हुआ था कि उसने बहुत कुछ गलत किया था, एंड लेटर ऑन हाउ डिड ही रिफॉर्म. सो दैट आल्सो इज इंस्पायर्ड बाय अ रियल पर्सन. एंड समवेयर और द अदर द एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स डे. So maybe you know he as a child, as a adult, as a teenager, he must have been surrounded by astrologers. His parents must have considered an astrologer maybe when he flunked in his exam. maybe his parents consulted an astrologer when he took up a job against their wishes. हमारा बेटा हमारी नहीं सुनता है, कुछ तो उपाय बताओ गुरुजी ही. या फिर his parents definitely did consult an astrologer when he was about to get married, right? But do you think all this affected his life in any negative way? It did not. Do you think he failing in 10th standard or matriculate exam stopped him from becoming a great author? It did not. Do you think that he working with an anti-Brahmin newspaper stopped his career? Rather, that boosted his career. उसका जो colleague friend था उसने उसको बोला कि तू लिख सकता है. You can write a book. You are really good at it. Don't restrict yourself only to the articles that come in the newspaper. And see, as far as his wife is concerned, I made it very clear that we all are going to die. So whether you get married to someone and that becomes the reason of your death, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. But India में ये बहुत ज़्यादा मानते हैं ना हम लोग. अच्छा वो मर गई, अगर ये मर जाता तो लोग बोलते कल नहीं खा गई अपने पति को. That's a very common statement. अरे ऐसा नहीं है, मर नहीं था उसको, एक दिन मर गया, ठीक है, as simple as that. But then a wife is normally blamed if the husband dies before her, right? So now coming back to astrologer's day. Now discuss with your partner and complete the activity. These are icebreakers. Why do we call them icebreakers? ये 11th में बताया था. I am asking you again. So there's a proverb. A proverb या quotation या saying कुछ भी बोल सकते हो. It is idiom बोल सकते हो. It is to break the ice. What do you mean to break the ice? What is to break the ice? To start something? हाँ मैंने बोला था, मैं वही तो बोल रही हूँ, मैंने बोला था. क्या बोला था वो बता. हाँ बोल. I'll tell you what is breaking the ice. Breaking the ice is to basically initiate a conversation with a stranger or to get familiar with unknown people. So normally what happens is if you go to a party, if you go to a birthday party and in the birthday party let us say the host has arranged for games and he has got an anchor. So what will the anchor do? The anchor will try to break the ice. He will try to make the people familiar and he will try to make the people enjoy the game. So what will he do? He will make some he'll make everybody play some party games so that people enjoy the party, they mix up with each other and the ice is broken. So if you are in your college, the first day you go to your college, you see somebody and you want to be friends with that person. So what will you do is, you will simply go and ask him, can you please tell me where is the 11th commerce class? The person will guide you, then you will ask him, you are also in 11th commerce. So what are you trying to do? You are trying to initiate a conversation. You are trying to get familiar with that person. You are trying to break the ice. So जब हम किसी अनजान इंसान से मिलते हैं, तो we try to break the ice by asking a lot of questions or by initiating a conversation or by maybe playing a game. The way I told you in the case of a host. अब यहाँ पे astrologers day lesson आपके लिए नया है. So what is the ice breaking going to do? The ice breaking is going to help you become familiar with what an astrologer does. What is the life of an astrologer? What kind of clothes does an astrologer wear? What are the kinds of things that an astrologer keeps with him? ये सबसे we are going to become familiar. So to break the ice is to become familiar. Fine. Now, what are your strengths? Now see the first strength, there is one small example. That's painting and drawing. Why do you feel so? Because you can visualize and you can express. And dream career क्या है? Maybe you want to become a commercial artist or you want to become a cartoonist. अगर आप उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हो तो ठीक है. What can be another strength? ये तो एक strength लिखा है. और क्या strength हो सकती है एक individual में?
Singing and dancing.
Dancing, singing. So if you talk about singing and dancing as one of your strength. So singing and dancing as one of your strength. Why do you feel so? Because you understand maybe the rhythm, right? You understand the rhythm. You enjoy music. ठीक है. What can be the dream career? Choreographer or a dancer or a singer. ठीक है. These are the dream career जो इसमें हो सकते हैं. Now one more strength. Sports. So if sports is your strength, why do you feel so? You have stamina, energy, endurance. What is the career? A sports person or a sports coach. Correct? either a sports person or a sports coach. One more skill or one more strength. Now see, if you talk about the astrologer, what skill do you think the astrologer has? What is his strength? He can read people. He can understand the body language of the people. His communication skill is good, right? So one more strength can be, reading and understanding people. Good communication skills. और जरूरी नहीं उससे आप सिर्फ एस्ट्रोलॉजर बनोगे. You can become a good leader. अरे salesman को underestimate का मतलब they work like anything. Salesman is the only person जो decide करता है कितने का चेक घर लेके जाएगा. CEO को भी फिक्स चेक मिलता है. बेटा तेरे को 1 महीने में 2 लाख का ही चेक मिलेगा, लेकिन सेल्समैन को बोला हर सेल्स के ऊपर तेरे को 50,000 मिलेगा. और अगर वो सेल्समैन ने डिसाइड कर लिया कि मेरे को ये महीने का 5 लाख लेके जाना है, तो लेगा 10 सेल्स में घर पे 5 लाख लेके जाएगा. मे बी अ बिगर चेक देन द CEO. So don't underestimate a salesman, Baba. So why do you feel so? Why do you feel so good at getting along with people? So you feel so, correct? Good at getting along with people. And what can be the dream career? It can be a HR, it can be a leader, it can be a politician, right? Or it can be a astrologer. और एस्ट्रोलॉजी में बहुत पैसा है. जब तक इंडिया के लोग साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट नहीं सीखते, एस्ट्रोलॉजी में बहुत पैसा है. And it is not just India. You have people abroad also who are into astrology. The only difference is India में स्टार साइन चलता है और वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में सन साइन चलता है. So western countries is more about the month in which you are born, sun sign. अपने यहाँ पे the नक्षत्र in which you are born. कौन सा लेटर से आपका नाम स्टार्ट होता है? We are more into that. Okay. The scene of a local market of a village or a town or a city is very attractive. So अभी scene बोला तो you can imagine शिवाजी चौक से लेके पुष्पराज होटल तक का गली. You can imagine that. So people with different occupations sell their wares. The meaning of the word ware is stuff. So they sell their things, they sell their stuff. Discuss with your partner the variety of the activities at the local market. Girls will know this better. So I told you, Shivaji Chowk se leke Pushparaj Hotel tak. What do people sell? People will sell flowers, they'll sell grocery on the sadak, right? They will sell beauty and cosmetic items. A lot of hairband, a lot of clips, a lot of buckle, a lot of earrings, a lot of necklace, purse, all these kind of things. Artificial jewelry, बहुत सारा बेचते हैं. Clothes at a reasonable price. So you see ना people standing with a nice long hanger, one end to another end, cotton के कपड़े लेके खड़े रहते हैं. या फिर on the roadside also they display clothes which people can buy at a very reasonable rate. Non-branded clothes, local stitched clothes, right? And then spices भी मिलते हैं रोड पे. See छोटा-छोटा पैकेट मिलता है spices का, cardamom and black pepper and all that. You get it in small packets. All these things are sold on the roadside. इसके अलावा you will also come across a lot of other things like vegetables and fruits which are normally sold on the roadside, and then maybe some kind of snacks. Some kind of snacks. No, not really vada pav. See, packed snacks. As in, a packet of what do you call it? Chips. Packet of chips, or some kind of Maggi. Or some other kind of eatable. So packets में they can sell those kind of things also. इसके अलावा once in a while, popcorn also. Once in a while you also see medicines being sold on the roadside. So Ayurvedic.
Which was चूहे मारने.
Then you also have चूहे मारने की दवा on the roadside. That is also there. So in short, whatever you don't get in a store, or whatever you don't get in a big branded decent shop, you'll get it on the roadside. And so you cannot say that we don't need these things. We do need these things as well. Maybe not often, but once in a while. For example, pajame ka nada roadside पे ही मिलता है, right? Or maybe a few smaller plastic items like a small soap case, or like a small, spoon stand, or like a small, maybe, filter for the tap. So all these things you get on the roadside, and you get a lot of variety, and you find it very cheap. And see, almost everybody once in a while goes there to shop. Maybe not every single day. Now in a village, town or city, it's a common sight to see an astrologer sitting by the roadside with his professional equipments. So most of the time देखो roadside पे एक astrologer बैठा रहता है, and you can make out that he's an astrologer. Sometimes they will sit with all those charts. या फिर sometimes they also sit with a parrot. You must have at least seen it in movies. They sit with a parrot and they have a deck of cards. So you basically ask a question, the parrot comes out from the deck of cards, he'll pick out the card, the parrot picks out a card, and then the astrologer will interpret. He will read that card and tell you about your future, or tell you about the problem that you want to know. So discuss with your partner the list of requirements for his trade. See, one I told you is the parrots and the card, right? The second can be shells and cowries. Cowrie पता है, shell और cowrie. So cowrie basically is ऐसा white या yellow color का एक shell होता है. अंदर के side उसमें threads जैसे होते हैं. So normally if you have seen sometimes people wear that shell cowrie का माला also. उसकी माला भी बना के बहुत बार पहनते हैं. So especially people who are seen that person who comes dancing on the roadside. So the lady basically beats the drum, and the husband has a whip in his hand, chabuk, or the man has a chabuk in his hand, and they hit themselves. तो वो लोग वो कौड़ी का ड्रेस पे वो लगी रहती है डेकोरेशन पर्पस के हिसाब से या whatever. So shells and cowries. One more thing that they have is panchang. So what is a panchang? So basically there's a difference between the English calendar and the Hindu calendar. तो English calendar में dates होती है, Hindu calendar में तिथि होती है. For example, चतुर्थी is nothing else but the 4th day. अच्छा, Hindi calendar is of 15 days. English calendar is 1 to 30 या 1 to 31 या 1 to 28 या 1 to 29. But in a Hindu calendar, it is 1 to 15. 15 दिन, और 15 दिन का एक ड्यूरेशन रहता है, और उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं कृष्ण पक्ष एंड शुक्ल पक्ष, या फिर अंधेरा पक्ष एंड उजाला पक्ष. सो उजाला पक्ष वो होता है जिसके एंड में पूर्णिमा आती है, अंधेरा पक्ष वो होता है जिसके एंड में अमावस्या आती है. So like it's a 15 days का cycle between the Purnima and the Amavasya, right? So the Panchang basically has the Hindu calendar. That's the Hindu calendar. That has the Hindu year and the Hindu dates. Dates in the sense the Tithi. Then you have stones related to sun signs, like maybe a ruby, like maybe a emerald, like maybe a pearl. These are a couple of stones which are related to your sun sign. And then the Rudraksh beads. So sometimes you will see them also having the Rudraksh, right? Rudraksh Kamala. Now there are certain unreasonable beliefs. Now see, astrology and unreasonable beliefs, they go hand in hand. So if you are somebody who believes in logic, if you are somebody who has a scientific temperament, you will never go to an astrologer. Yeah, even if you go to an astrologer, you will not believe in most of the things that he says. You may just go like that out of curiosity, but then you may not really believe in all that he says. Okay. Now, when you talk about astrology and when you talk about superstition, see, there is a strong probability that a superstition person, a person who's superstitious, he will go to an astrologer. A person who's not superstitious, that means he believes in logic. And somebody who believes in logic, there is a possibility that he or she may not go to a astrologer. That's the reason why we are asked superstitions over here. List such events, discuss the superstition linked with them and means of their eradication. See, the first one is a cat crossing your path. What is linked with it? That if a cat crosses your path, it brings bad luck, or you will not be able to do the work that you do, that you are about to do. What solution people do? They wait for somebody else to cross the road so that the bad luck passes on to them. Or else what they do is they go back 7-8 steps and then they start walking again. Now, how can you eradicate this? You can make people understand कि भाई अगर बिल्ली ने रास्ता काटा है तो भी जाके देखो आपका काम होता है कि नहीं. अगर होता है तो वो सुपरस्टिशन है, बिकॉज ये तो हमने मान लिया ना. Did we cross check? We did not. So if a cat crosses your path and if you still go ahead and do your job, and if that job is done successfully, that means this is illogical. So the only way of eradicating this belief is go ahead. and then see for yourself whether your work gets done or not. The second is not cutting nails after sunset. Now see, in the past people did not cut nails after the sunset because there were no electric lights. तो लैंप के लाइट में दिखता नहीं था ठीक से. प्लस पीपल डिड नॉट हैव अ नेल कटर. पहले लोग ब्लेड से नेल्स काटते थे या चाकू से नेल्स काटते थे. तो अगर आप ब्लेड या चाकू से काट रहे हो तो एज सच रिस्क है, और अगर आप उसको रात को दिए के रोशनी में काट रहे हो तो अगेन इट बिकम्स अ बिगर रिस्क. उसके लिए लोगों को बोला जाता था कि डोंट कट योर नेल्स आफ्टर सनसेट. बट टुडे कैन वी बिलीव दिस? No. Today it's a matter of hygiene. Whenever you feel that your nails are overgrown, you should sit and cut them. So we get the best of the nail cutters. There is proper light. Light है, lamp है, focus light है, halogen light है, flood light है, सब है. So there is no reason why you should not be cutting your nails after sunset. Then spilling salt. Now see, पहले people used to say that spilling salt brings bad luck. But the plain reason is if you spill salt, salt बहुत मुश्किल से बनता है. You require certain liters of sea water to get 1 kg of salt. So you should not really waste it. You should not spill it. अच्छा, अगर salt spill हुआ तो उसको फिर आप उठा के वापस reuse नहीं कर सकते, या फिर वो spill salt को आप बाहर भी फेंकोगे. अगर आप मट्टी में soil को फेंकते हो, आपका soil infertile हो जाता है. So अगर देखो एक simple example, अगर गेहूँ गिर गया घर पे, आपने उठा के उसको बाहर फेंक दिया, कोई ना कोई खा ही लेगा, right? या और कुछ गिर गया, आपने उठा के उसको बाहर फेंक दिया तो somebody or the other will it will get decomposed or you know it will be utilized in one or the other way. But salt अगर आप उठा के बाहर फेंकते हो तो that's not really good because it affects the soil. अब देखो, आज अपने घरों के बाहर मट्टी नहीं है, अपने घरों के बाहर हम पेड़ भी नहीं उगाते, राइट? बट पहले लोग उगाते थे, तो लोग बोलते थे अगर सॉल्ट गिरा आप उसको उठा के बाहर फेंक रहे हो मट्टी में तो then the soil will become infertile. So the only option was कि उसको पानी में बहा दो. So then they were like, why waste water? तभी पानी भी तो लोग चल के इतना दूर से लेके आते थे ना, तो वो सॉल्ट को बहाने के लिए पानी लो. So why? तो better है be careful with salt. Don't spill it. In any way it is not good because you are wasting water or you are spoiling the soil. And again वो salt इतने मेहनत से बनता है. But today is can you go by that logic? You cannot. हाँ, but एक only चीज ये है कि why waste something? Be careful, don't spill it. Not just salt. Don't spill anything. Today, can you afford to spill oil? You cannot. Can you afford to spill anything else? You cannot. You cannot, right? Sleeping on stomach. Now see, sleeping on stomach, ये बचपन में बहुत डराते थे ना, पेट पे से मम्मी मर जाएगी. तो अरे मम्मी कैसे मरेगी पेट में से? हाँ, मेरा पेट. मम्मी. My tummy has nothing to do with my mummy. As simple as that. But the logic was, if you sleep on your stomach, that basically puts undue unwanted pressure on your stomach. That's not good for your digestive system. So you should not sleep on your stomach. That was only reason, only logic. But today if you sleep on your tummy, your mother will die. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. मैं तो कब की मर चुकी हूँ, पता नहीं कितनी बार मर गई होती. अगर ये logic होता तो, right? Then haircut on Saturday. A lot of people believe that you should not cut your hair on Saturday. Now पहले एक simple logic था that if you cut your hair, the barber needs to get a day off. So barber shops earlier were not closed. So one day off for him was a day Saturday. Don't cut your hair on Saturday. The barber gets some relief. But today, can we go by this? Don't cut your hair on Saturday or Sunday. We cannot. जब भी हमको टाइम मिलता है, we go and cut our hair, and it has got nothing to do with your bad luck or nothing to do with something evil happening. And see, the only way of eradicating all these superstitions is understanding the logic behind it, spreading awareness. So there was a person, Dr. Narendra Dabholkar. India में ये आज भी होता है ना. So Dr. Narendra Dabholkar का एक इंस्टीट्यूट है. The name of the institute is अंधश्रद्धा निर्मूलन समिति. अंधश्रद्धा is blind faith superstition. निर्मूलन समिति. Dr. Narendra Dabholkar used to go to villages and they used to carry out a lot of small experiments, and they used to show the village people how they are fooled by these astrologers or by the so-called babas or the so-called gurus of the village. So वो लोग एक्सपेरिमेंट करके उनको दिखाते थे. You have seen that experiment in PK also. One man flying in the air and then पता चलता है कि he has got a iron का एक stand जिसके ऊपर वो खुद को बैलेंस करके रखता है. Then पता है लोग जीप में एक आयरन का ये पास कर लेते हैं रॉड. So basically they don't pass it again. That has got उसमें ऐसा वो एक बना हुआ रहता है. वो उनका हाथ का सफाई होता है. वो लोग ऐसे करके उसको बहुत स्मार्टली डाल देते हैं तो अपने को लगता है वो आर पार गया है. So basically ये डॉक्टर नरेंद्र दाभोलकर गांव-गांव में जाके ऐसे प्रेजेंटेशंस देते थे. They would spread awareness. And one fine day what happened was Dr. Narendra Dabholkar used to live in Pune. One day when he was going on a morning walk, two people came on a bike and they shot him dead. Now why do you think two people shot him dead? क्या दुश्मनी था? दुश्मनी ये था कि बहुत सारे बाबा लोग का दुकान बंद हो रहा था ना because of Narendra Dabholkar. So ये बाबा लोग, you know, they basically earn a lot of money by fooling people. So people go to them, people offer them money, or people, you know, do whatever they want them to do. So we have a lot of such cases in India. This Ram Rahim Baba was recently arrested. He was running a scam, you know, बहुत बड़ा flesh trade he was doing. He was fooling people, taking a lot of money from his followers. तो अगर लोगों में से superstition निकल गया, तो इन लोगों के पास कौन जाएगा? So their business is going to get affected. What are they making money out of? They are making money out of fooling people. So नरेंद्र दाभोलकर के दुश्मन कौन थे? ऐसे बाबा लोग जिनकी दुकानें बंद हो रही थी because of the awareness that Narendra Dabholkar was spreading. So this itself tells you that superstitions are simply blind beliefs and we need not depend on them. We need not agree to all that is said to us. So बहुत सारी चीजों के पीछे लॉजिक ये भी था कि पहले के लोगों को लॉजिक नहीं समझ में आता था तो उनको डराया जाता था. Like I'll give you a simple example. राजस्थान में पानी का शॉर्टेज था once upon a time, आज नहीं है. Because of the irrigation facilities and all. And North India में ladies को, North India में क्या, all over India पहले के ज़माने में बोलते थे ना, ladies ने बाल नहीं काटने चाहिए, लंबे रखो, you cannot cut your hair. So ladies would have long hair. And राजस्थान में पानी का शॉर्टेज होता था, तो अगर ladies frequently बाल धोएगी, तो पानी वेस्ट होगा. तो ladies को क्या बोला जाता था? संडे को बाल नहीं धोने का भाई का उम्र कम हो जाता है, थर्सडे को बाल नहीं धोने का पैसे कम हो जाते हैं, मंडे को बाल नहीं धोने का पति का उम्र कम हो जाता है. ऐसे डरा के रखा था. So the only logic was don't wash your hair more than twice a month. अमावस्या के दिन बाल नहीं धोने का, you know, पितर नाराज हो जाते हैं, पितर are your ancestors. तो ऐसे अभी today if you go by this logic, you know, you will end up having headlock. Given the pollution, given the kind of dirt that we move in and out, and if you wait, हाँ, उसके ऊपर भी superstition है. So you have to basically use your common sense, right? Now, R.K. Narayanan, born in 1906, born before India's independence, died in 2001, and this is his name: Rasipuram Krishna Swami Iyer Narayan Swami. This is his entire name. So R.K. Narayanan is better, I believe. Was one of the best known novelists. Novelist is somebody who writes novels. What is the fourth genre that we have in your textbook? Novels. That's the reason why the lesson is started by somebody who writes novels. Among Indian writers, Indian English writer. So the Guide is basically a novel that's written by him. The one that I told you. He's the author of 14 novels. How many novels has he written in all in his life? 14. 5 volumes of short stories. Short stories का volumes का मतलब क्या होता है? एक volume में there can be 10-12 stories. और एक वॉल्यूम में there could be 8 to 12 stories. So he's written 5 volumes of short stories and a number of travelogues. You know what are travelogues? So when you travel from one place to another and when you describe your journey, जब आपने कहाँ ट्रैवल किया, कैसे ट्रैवल किया, किन लोगों से मिले, वहाँ का स्पेशल खाना क्या था, वहाँ के लोग कैसे थे, कल्चर क्या था. So basically today you see all this in the form of a travel blog or a travel blog, right? That is what is travelogue. So he also wrote a lot of travelogues and as a collection of non-fiction to his credit. What is fiction? Fiction is something that is not real. Non-fiction is something that is real. So Swami and his friends, वो fictional story नहीं था. It was a non-fictional story. हाँ, the village was fictional. मालगुडी नाम का कोई village आपको इंडिया के मैप पे नहीं मिलेगा. The names were fictional, but the characters were real. And he also wrote his memoir. So memoir is basically something that has to do with your memories, something that has to do with your life. In the year 1975, Narayan created the imaginary town of Malgudi. So the village that he created was an imaginary one. उसका नाम भी imaginary है, Malgudi. But then realistic characters are there in that story. Characters सारे real हैं, and they are the realistic characters in a typical Indian setting. Lived amid unpredictable events. So in those days, the events were unpredictable. You did not know what was going to happen next. So people lived among or between unpredictable events. For example, today, अगर मॉनसून में अच्छा बारिश नहीं होता है तो अपने को पता है कि अगले साल समर्स में पानी कट होने वाला है, वी नो दैट ना, वो एक हमको अपडेट मिलता है। पहले पीपल लिव्ड इन अनप्रेडिक्टेबल टाइम, दे डिड नॉट नो कि ड्रॉट कब आएगा, फ्लड्स कब आएगा, मौसम कब खराब होगा, वो सब उनको नहीं पता था। His stories are grounded in compassionate humanism. Now the stories are grounded. Grounded का मतलब होता है they are very basic, they are very down to earth. When you read Malgudi Days or when you see Swami, you can maybe relate to him. You can visualize कि मैं भी शायद बचपन में ऐसी मस्ती करता था, या you'll unknowingly go back to your own childhood. So his stories are grounded in compassionate. What is compassion? Compassion is understanding the pain and suffering of others. So उसके स्टोरी में आपको compassion मिलेगा, humanism मिलेगा, and celebrated the humor and energy of ordinary life. See, ordinary life में बहुत challenges या बहुत problems होते हैं, ठीक है, but उसमें अगर आप ढूंढो तो आपको humor भी मिल जाएगा. So middle class person or a lower middle class person may have a lot of problems and difficulties in his life, but then in spite of all that, he does not give up hope. The next day he gets up and goes to work. And अगर उसके लाइफ में भी आप थोड़ा सा झांक के देखोगे तो कहीं ना कोई ह्यूमर मिलेगा. Like for example, the other day, one of my maid was sharing this. So the maid, the maid's daughter, the maid scolded the daughter basically, and the daughter got a little upset with her mother. So she called her father, and she told her father, आप अभी का अभी घर पे आओ, मम्मी मेरे को बहुत डांट रही है. So the father said, बेटा मैं अभी घर पे आई हूँ तो हम खाएंगे क्या? Middle class, lower middle class people. So उसका लॉजिक ये था कि अभी घर पे आऊँगा तो क्या खाएंगे, मेरा सैलरी कट हो जाएगा ना आज के दिन का. So the daughter said, एक काम करो ना, मैकडॉनल्ड्स से एक बर्गर लेके आ जाओ. So that's humor in ordinary life. So the daughter took it the other way. She thought पापा घर पे आ रहे हैं और मेरे को पूछ रहे खाएंगे क्या. So she was like, 2 बर्गर लेके आ जाओ, ऑफर में खा लेंगे, मम्मी को नहीं देंगे. So that is humor in a basic or a plain life. So his stories are characterized by a simple style. So how is his writing style? It is very simple. He does not try to complicate things. He'll keep the storyline simple. He'll keep the characters simple. He'll keep the plot simple. And a subtle humor. So subtle is something which is low line. जैसा बहुत obvious नहीं है. So one humor is loud, जो हमको समझ में आता है कि this is funny. And one is a very low line or a very subtle kind of a humor which you have to read and understand. Now, Narayan was introduced to American readers in 1952. मतलब American people started reading about him in 1952 by the Michigan State University Press. Michigan State University Press started publishing his books in the US. तो US के readers ने उसके बारे में कब पढ़ा? In the year 1952. These include Swami and his friends. Swami and his friends जो उसके लाइफ पे है, Malgudi Days. The Bachelor of Arts 1937. The Dark Room 1938. An Astrologer's Day and Other Stories in 1947, Mr. Sampath 1949, The Financial Expert 1954, Waiting for the Mahatma 1955, and The Guide 1958, the Devanand movie that I told you about, and many other books. His novel The Guide won him the Sahitya Academy Award. तो जैसे फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड्स होते हैं मूवीज के लिए, या ऑस्कर होता है इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे मूवीज के लिए, Sahitya Academy Award is for the writers, for the authors. So he got the Sahitya Academy Award in the year 1961. Apart from R.K. Narayanan, Ruskin Bond is another writer who has got the Sahitya Academy Award, जो आपके इंग्लिश के टेक्स्ट बुक में है. बहुत सारे ऑथर्स हैं जिनको साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड मिला. आई एम स्पेसिफिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट योर इंग्लिश टेक्स्ट बुक, ठीक है. द मोस्ट कवर्टेड लिटरेरी ऑनर इन इंडिया. साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड इज द मोस्ट कवर्टेड. कवर्टेड इज द मोस्ट sought after, or you can call it as the highest award which is given in literature in India. His writing is distinguished by humor and an unoffending irony. Now see, humor सबको पता है. What is irony? Irony is simple bad luck, plain bad luck. That's irony. Unoffending is something that does not offend you. So irony का सबसे बड़ा example आपने सुना होगा हिंदी में, चने हैं तो दांत नहीं, दांत है तो चने नहीं. मतलब जब आपके पास दांत है तो शायद चने खरीदने के लिए पैसे नहीं है, और जब या टाइम नहीं है, और जब चने आ गए तो दांत चले गए, because of age. So that's irony. So irony is basically plain bad luck. So that's irony. So India is a rich country with poor people. It's irony. हमारा कंट्री बहुत रिच है लेकिन लोग गरीब है, सोच गरीब है. पैसा तो जाने दो. We are rich in what sense? In the sense of culture, in the sense of tradition, in the sense of history. But then poor in what sense? Money and thinking, right? So his writing is distinguished by humor and unoffending irony, a unique Indianness. उसके writing में आपको Indianness मिलेगा, Indian words भी मिलेंगे बहुत सारे, and then at the same time, which is utterly charming. People find it charming. See, even when the foreigners read his book, they found it charming because they found that Indianness, the Indian flavor. And then at the same time, his books are very authentic. Authentic in the sense pure. So there is no adulteration, there is no mixing. What it is, he portrays it in the same manner. Narayan typically portrays the peculiarities. Peculiarities are those special characteristics, those odd characteristics of human relationships. And the ironies of Indian daily life. See, Indian daily life में आपको बहुत सारी ऐसी ironies मिलेंगी. जैसे मैंने बोला ना दांत और चने वाला example. So there are many ironies in Indian life, especially in the lower middle class family. And then his style is graceful, which is marked by genial humor. Genial is genuine humor. Elegance and simplicity. Elegance is something which is style, which is rich, and simplicity. So all his stories are very simple. So this tells you the writing style of the author. So moral of the story is, ये lesson बहुत ज़्यादा difficult नहीं है. You'll not have to interpret a lot. You'll not have to break your head a lot. He keeps it very basic and very simple. अच्छा, the best part about him is he will not put in a lot of characters for you to remember. So generally क्या होता है, 2 या 3 characters maximum. उससे ज़्यादा characters नहीं होते हैं. Fine. Now. On the first page, see, I'll not tell you the story. Generally what I do is, before I start a lesson, I explain the summary of the lesson. Yes. But this has got a nice, beautiful end to it. It has got a beautiful twist. So if I tell you that right now, maybe you'll not read it with that much of attention. It will become a spoiler. So that's the reason I'm not telling you the summary first. We'll read and we'll see how the story unfolds. So on the first page, that is the page, the entire second page, इसमें I'll tell you, जो second last line है ना, second last line तक you have the astrologer described. अब इसको ध्यान से क्यों पढ़ना है? Because you will get a question about describe the astrologer, or you will get a question what equipments did the astrologer have with him, or you will get a question what kind of a setting was there with the astrologer. Or you will get a question of what did the astrologer's setup look like. So anything related to the looks of the astrologer, or anything related to his setup, or anything related to the place where he started his astrology का दुकान, all that may come. ठीक है? Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells, a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it, a notebook and a bundle of Palmyra writing. इतने सारे उसके equipments का ये पूरा list है. And this also tells you what time did he start his work. Punctually. Punctually means every day it was a fixed time. Punctually at midday. So midday is 12. Noon. अब वो 12 बजे अपना दुकान क्यों खोलता था? मतलब उसका दुकान भी नहीं था, वो रोड पे अपना सेटअप लेके बैठता था. लेकिन 12 बजे क्यों? Because see, nobody comes to astrologer in the morning. 12 बजे के बाद आने की पॉसिबिलिटी क्या है? लंच टाइम में आपको अगर थोड़ा सा फ्री टाइम है तो आप आके बैठ जाओगे, या फिर वर्कर्स, लेबरर्स who start their day at 7 in the morning, maybe they wind up by 4 in the evening. So his clients or his customers or the probable people who came to the astrologer, they are not the ones who would come at him at 10 o'clock in the morning or early in the morning. So there was no point in going and doing his setup in the morning. So he started punctually at midday, that is 12 p.m. He opened his bag. So what was there in his bag? And he spread out his professional equipment. So professional equipment is something which is carried out by a professional. So for example, a doctor is a professional. What kind of equipment did you find with him? Maybe a stethoscope, maybe a blood pressure monitoring machine, maybe a thermometer, maybe a scissor, maybe injections, right? So in the same way, when you talk about an astrologer, why is the astrologer called a professional here? A professional is somebody who will charge you fees for his services, right? तो वो 51 रुपए का या 101 रुपए का दक्षिणा मांगेगा. डॉक्टर भी हमसे एक फीस चार्ज करता है ना. So when you go to a doctor, some doctors they charge you 100 rupees. for the checkup. Some doctors charge you 500 rupees, some doctors charge you 750 rupees. So सबका fees, consultancy fees अलग होता है ना. So you pay them a fees, right? In the same way, lawyers are professionals. So we pay a lawyer na for a case. So some lawyers may charge you 10,000 for a case, some lawyers may charge you 50,000 for a case, some lawyers may charge 5 lakh for a case, as in the case of Aryan Khan. The lawyer charged 5 lakh odd for that case, right? So जिसको आप fees देते हो वो कौन हो गया? Professional. Do we pay a fee to the astrologer? Yes. Some astrologers may charge you 101 rupees, some may charge 501, some may charge 5001. All right. So he put out his professional equipment. Equipment का मतलब होता है सामान, चीजें, things. Now what was that? Which consisted of a dozen kavri shells. A dozen is 12 kavri shells. I told you. ठीक है. Now see, this is a Hindi word, right? Hindi word आ गया English textbook में. तो ये हो गया आपका code mixing. Code mixing is where you mix two different languages. All right. Why do you do it? To give it that special flavor. अब वो कवरी का इंग्लिश वर्ड भी लिख सकता था, लेकिन फिर वो इंडियननेस वाला फील नहीं आता था. I'll give you another example. डोमिनोज का इंडिया में टैगलाइन क्या है? इंडिया में खुशियों की होम डिलीवरी. खुशियों की होम डिलीवरी. So it's a tagline which is an example of code mixing. खुशियों की is a Hindi word and home delivery is English. तो इंडिया में उन्होंने ये टैगलाइन क्यों बनाया? खुशियों की, to have that Indian feel, so that you know Indians could relate. Indians could have that connection or that bond. Domino's is not an Indian brand, na? But why did you do that code mixing in India? So that we feel that this brand is something that we can relate to. समझा? So code mixing advertisement में use होता है, code mixing creative writing में use होता है, code mixing ऐसे stories में, novels में भी use होता है. Code mixing is also used to create that special kind of effect. One more example of code mixing I'll give you. When you read the name of a movie like Jab We Met, so you know that Jab We Met gives you a different kind of a feel, ना? अब ये सोचो पूरा हिंदी में होता है जब हम मिले, तो तुम मिले तो हम क्या करेंगे? So but Jab We Met, it sounds a little different to your ears. It sounds a little more creative. So that's the logic of a code mixing. अब अगर ये passage exam में आता है and you are asked a question, pick out examples of code mixing from the passage. So you know what is code mixing? It is kauri shells, because shell is an English word and kauri is a Hindi word, right? और भी आएगा आगे. So kauri shells, a square piece of cloth. There was a square piece of cloth with obscure mystic charts on it. Now see, obscure is given in the glossary. Obscure is something which is difficult to understand. तो हमको पंचांग या ये जो horoscope में रहता है वो हमको नहीं समझ में आता है ना. वो एस्ट्रोलॉजर बराबर बताता है ये घर में है, this planet is in this house, this planet is in that house, but we don't understand that. So he basically makes it understood to us, he makes it clear to us, and that obscure one we don't understand that. Mystic chart. Now see, mystic is also given in the glossary, something that relates to supernatural powers and is not easily understood. Mystic is anything that is not human. Mystic is about god, goddesses, demons and all that. So mystic वो होता है. And then he also had a notebook, a bundle of palmyra writing. Now see, palmyra is a kind of palm. तो पहले पता है palm leaves के ऊपर लिखते थे. So the palmyra writing is basically some kind of a mantra or a shlok or some kind of writings on a palm leaf. So that gives you that authentic feel of a astrologer. And these are the things that he had. अब ये उसके equipments हो गए. अब आगे उसको describe किया है. See, your personality needs to match with your character. So today if I come and tell you that I am an astrologer, you will not believe me. You will say you don't look like an astrologer. But let us say tomorrow I come with a yellow ऐसा वाला ये सर के ऊपर and one big red tilak on my forehead. I come with 4-5 रुद्राक्ष का माला. I come with 2-4 crystal का ऐसा bracelets and all. And then I come in a nice saffron color का robe in the class. You will say, ma'am, you change your profession, you have become an astrologer. ऐसा किसने बोला? नहीं, देख के तो लग रहा है. So your dress or your personality has to match with that of your profession. So यहाँ पे it is described how did he make him look like an astrologer. So his forehead was resplendent. Now see, the meaning of the word resplendent is given in the glossary. Bright, dazzling and impressive. How can you make your forehead bright, dazzling and impressive? By applying a lot of kumkum or a lot of chandan or making it, how can you make it stand out? So that is what these people do. ना वो लोग ash लगाते हैं या चंदन लगाते हैं और फिर उसके ऊपर एक बड़ा रोली का तिलक लगाते हैं, and then they'll close their eyes and then they will think. तो फिर तभी हमारा ध्यान ना उनके चेहरे के ऊपर यहाँ पे ही जाता है, because that is something which is shining bright. So his forehead was resplendent with sacred ash. Sacred is nothing else but holy. Ash, is the powder of burnt either incense stick, या burnt wood, या burnt coal. It could be anything. So he had put that sacred ash and vermilion. Vermilion is nothing else but kumkum, and vermilion was there. And his eyes sparkled. His eyes were shining with a sharp, abnormal gleam. So there was a sharp, abnormal in the sense unusual gleam. Gleam is shine. So basically क्या होता है? This has got nothing to do with you being an astrologer. Some people have those bright kind of eyes. So अब सबकी आंखें अलग अलग होती है. अब अगर आपकी आंखें वैसे ब्राइट है, शाइन करती है, so there's a possibility that you will fit in the role of an astrologer. Luckily इसके features वैसे थे. He had those bright shining eyes, which was really an outcome. जो actually किसका outcome था, किसका result था? Of a continual searching look for his customers. तो वो बार-बार customers को ढूंढते रहता था. इसीलिए उसकी eyes were maybe gleaming. But then the poor customers, the simple customers, what did they feel? But which is simple clients took to be a prophetic light. So prophetic is basically a prophet is a messenger of God. तो लोग बहुत बार astrologer को भी messenger of God मानते हैं. Somebody can tell you about your future. So they took it to be a prophetic light and they felt comforted in the sense relaxed. People mistook his gleaming eyes to be the eyes of a prophet or the eyes of a wise and a learned man. And then the power of his eyes was considerably enhanced by their position placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers which streamed down his cheek. अब उसके eyes का placement भी अच्छी जगह पे था. अब placement अच्छी जगह पे कैसे था? See, the placement of his eyes was the forehead which was very shining because of the ash, and the whiskers also mustache. So नीचे there was the dark mustache, ऊपर there was the dark forehead, and बीच में there were the gleaming white eyes. So दो dark background के against the eyes were shining maybe a little more. So they were placed between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers. Whiskers here is nothing else but mustache, which streamed down his cheek. So that mustache was streaming down his cheek. अब देखो astrologers का mustache कभी भी ऐसे नहीं रहता, because they have a long flowing beard. So if you have a long flowing beard, the mustache is generally mixed with the beard. वो beard के साथ stream down करता है, right? So it was streaming down. Even a half-wit's eyes. Half-wit means somebody who is not very intelligent, somebody who is a dim person, dull person. Even his eyes would sparkle in such a setting. मतलब अगर कोई ऐसा dull person भी होगा, उसकी आंखें भी sparkle करेगी अगर आप उसके forehead को bright कर दोगे तो, और अगर dark mustache रहेगी तो ये बंदा तो cunning था. He was not a real astrologer. He was a cunning fellow. To crown this effect, to crown means to add to the effect. So crown is basically, how many of you know there are two types of crowns? One is a natural crown. आपके जो सफे बाल है, that's your natural crown. उसको crowning glory बोलते हैं, पता है? A girl who has got very long and dark and thick hair, good quality hair. People will say she has got a beautiful crowning glory. Glory is something which adds to the beauty of your face. So hair definitely adds to the beauty of our face. So one crown is the one which is natural, जो भगवान ने दिया, सर के बाल. Another crown क्या है? एक artificial crown, सोने का crown या नकली crown जो लोग पहनते हैं अपने सर के ऊपर, right? So crown is to basically top up something, to add more to the effect, to add more to what is already there. So to crown this effect, he wore a saffron colored turban. Now see, the meaning of the word worn is tied up. He tied a saffron colored turban around his head. तो ये saffron, ये grey, ये gleaming white और ये black. So that color combination. Ever seen as a close-up of a sadhu like this? You get attracted because of the color combination. The saffron turban, the long flowing hair, the ash, वो ash के ऊपर एक vermilion, then the bright sharp sparkling eyes, and their face is normally dark, तो eyes ज़्यादा gleam करती है, and then the black or the pepper white or the grey mustache and the beard. The color scheme never failed. This color scheme, saffron, grey, vermilion, white and black. It never failed, and people were attracted to him as bees are attracted to Cosmos or Dahlia stalks. Now what is Cosmos and Dahlia? They are the names of a flower. So Cosmos भी एक name of a flower है, and Dahlia also is the name of a flower. तो उसको जैसे bees attract होते हैं, वैसे the customers were attracted to him. Now see what is the similarity between a Cosmos, Dahlia and the astrologer? The color combination. You have heard ना, bees get attracted because of the color, the bright color. तो यहाँ पे भी वो bright color था. So his customers were attracted to him. He sat under the boughs. अभी ये उसका location बताता है. Where did he sit? Under the boughs or the branches of a spreading tamarind tree. Tamarind सबको पता है, इमली का झाड़. इमली का झाड़ shade ज़्यादा देता है because it has got huge branches and small leaves. And he sat under the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree, which flanked a path. Flank is basically nothing else but showing, which showed a path running through the town hall park. The name of the place was Town Hall Park. It was a remarkable place in many ways. Now, why was the place remarkable? Why was the location remarkable? A surging is flowing crowd. A surging or a flowing crowd was always moving up and down this narrow road from morning till midnight. Now, why did he choose this road? Because he wanted to position himself in such a place जहाँ पे आते जाते उसको बहुत सारे customers मिले. तो वो कहाँ मिलेंगे? On a busy street, on a busy road. So that is the reason why he was positioning himself in this place, which was the Town Hall Park, which was always full of the crowd, which was moving up and down this narrow road from morning till night. अब देखो इसके आगे वाला जो पार्ट है ना, a variety of trade से लेके यहाँ तक shadows तक, this describes the Town Hall Park वाला street. So first, what did we understand? The description of the professional equipment. Second was the look and the color combination and the makeup and the scheme of the astrologer. Third will be the place where he is sitting. तो ये दोनों तीनों चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट थी उसके बिजनेस के लिए. उसके बाद आपका एक्चुअल स्टोरी स्टार्ट हो. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज जस्ट अ इंट्रोडक्शन. अब इफ यू आर वंडरिंग इतना ऐसा डिटेल में इंट्रोडक्शन क्यों दिया है? बिकॉज यू नो दैट सेट्स द टोन ऑफ द स्टोरी. यही अगर आप मूवी में देखते ना तो आपको इतना डिटेलिंग नहीं लगता, क्योंकि ये पूरा 5 मिनट में खत्म हो जाता. Are you getting me? So even when you watch a movie, that detailing is there. Whenever the hero is introduced or the main character is introduced, तो उसका पूरा personality, you know, उसका पूरा look, उसका पूरा appearance वो हमको दिखाते हैं वो लोग. फिर उसका some few habits or some few styles are shown to us. Then the place or the location where he goes for the first time, that is highlighted. So the same is done here. The actual story will start after that. Fine. So your homework is to go through all the difficult words of this particular passage that we have done. Along with this, you are going to focus and mentally remember the professional list, the personality of the astrologer, and how did the color scheme help in attracting the customers. ठीक है? इसके बाद वाला part will continue in the next. This is